Hey there, folks. Austin Baumgarten here with Keller Williams Realty Northwest Montana and Hidden Homes Montana LLC, coming to you on Vlog Day. I'm here to deliver some information about the real estate market here in the Flathead Valley, as well as just some local stuff that pertains to real estate in general. Today, we're going to be talking about a few things. We're going to be talking about lenders. So it's going to be banks, credit unions, and mortgage brokers. Those are the three that I've actually had personal contact with. I've either used their professional services myself, or I've actually had a lot of instances where clients have used them. So I wanted to give you some information about all of those with some personal insight on them. So we have a lot of banks in the United States. Most of those banks have different brands. They have different products they offer throughout their lending. So the thing about banks is that they are easily accessible. There's usually a lot of branches out there. People, a lot of times, they're very easy to work with. So that's a beautiful thing. The thing that we struggle with banks is sometimes always they're a for-profit institution. So being a for-profit institution, they're going to be trying to make money off of you. Banks give great interest rates. They make their money through closing costs and different things like that, and they're usually pretty even keel, specifically or according to other lending institutions. However, most people are like, hey, you need to go to the bank, you need to get financed, you need to go ahead and get a pre-approval letter, all that jazz. Anyway, I'm talking to you about my personal experience with banks. When I was 23, I bought my first house. I had a lot of help from my wife and my in-laws at that time, and we used a bank. We ended up getting the interest rate that was there, and I mean, the interest rate at that point was like 5.6%, and we stayed locked into that for many, many years because we were kind of novice when it came to the home buying experience. However, we had closing costs that were probably upwards of over 1%, which in that time frame would have been like $3,500, $4,000 for our house. So banks, anyway, they took great care of us. We were able to get into a first-time home buyer's loan with a bank. It was outstanding. We had great customer service. My experience with the bank, however, was that they actually ended up having to sell our loan. And that's something you need to know too, is that even though it might be a local bank that you're working with, sometimes they're going to sell your mortgage to another lender, maybe in like Iowa, or, not that Iowa's bad, but just somewhere in Iowa or maybe Hawaii, and you're talking to someone on the phone rather than just going into the bank and taking care of it at that point. So banks, for-profit institutions, they have great resources. They usually have a great online presence as well. So usually you can do a lot of things remotely. So banks, good product, lots of them, easy to go get pre-approval. So folks, one more thing I want to talk to you about banks is that banks not always or cannot always lend on land. And so you got to be really aware of that. There's certain lending products that are out there that more cater to land, but a lot of times the bank wants like an asset attached to the land because it's going to be better collateral for them. Just so you're aware of that when you go into the bank looking for a land loan. Next, banks are awesome also at commercial loans, multifamily loans, and residential real estate. Okay, so they do personal loans and car loans and all those things as well. We all know that. So anyway, that's it for banks for now. So folks, next let's talk about credit unions. So in Kalispell and the Flathead Valley, and actually in Montana in general, we have a few different credit unions. I know personally Parkside Credit Union and Whitefish Credit Union I've used, and I've also had my clients use. And credit unions, I want to let you know, are kind of cool because most of the time they are local. And the other part of it too is that they are not for profit. So they're trying to fund the community around them a little bit better. That's an awesome part. There's like a board of directors rather than people being hired as like a president. So what that does is it's able to give more money back to the clientele. Anyway, when it comes to credit unions, I'm also a big fan of the fact that they're able to pre-approve you, usually within 7 to 10 days. Not all of them, but getting a full approval and making sure that your loan's going to go through is fantastic. All right. Sometimes they offer really great interest rates as well, and like 0 to very minimal closing cost because, like I said, they don't need that loan origination fee because they're not for profit. So a few of the cons of credit unions are that there's not as many of them, and they don't have as many products for lending available with different interest rates and ways they give loans. Now that's not always true because they're actually working on getting more accessibility, having a better online presence and all that. But that's kind of like it's not necessarily a stereotype, it's kind of just as a whole what credit unions embody. There are 115 million people that use credit unions in the United States. And I know I personally have used credit union for some of my personal savings. I also use it for a car loan. Have not used it for a purchase of a mortgage or a land loan yet, but it's something I know a lot of other clients have, and they've done really, really well with it. Sometimes they don't have as stringent of lending, I guess, stringent stipulations to lending as well. So that's a good thing. So with credit unions, some of the great things are they're not for profit. They help the local community, which is awesome. The cons really come down to sometimes they don't have the best product out there for you. Can't get you the best interest rate, or they can. Either one, it kind of depends on your loan. So it's really good to talk to a credit union as well as your bank. So mortgage brokers, specifically, I bought a house this year and I did use a local mortgage broker. Someone I've worked with before and I trust, and they were able to really kind of cater my needs at that time, which was awesome because at the time I didn't have 2 years of real estate taxes available yet. So basically the lenders didn't think that was viable to do it, even though I might have had enough cash on hand and my credit score was good, all those different things. Anyway, they were able to get me into a specific product because the mortgage broker in general shops those products across the United States. So beautiful thing about the mortgage brokers is that they're able to have a lot of different products. They're actually out there shopping for you. I'd say the con or the cons in mortgage brokers, really what it comes down to is that the closing costs are going to be more money. Sometimes they'll get you a little bit higher of an interest rate. Sometimes they get you a lower one depending upon your credit score. But a lot of times they're a broker because they're going to be getting a commission from your closing, and that's beneficial to them. So they're trying to get you a good rate, but sometimes those closing costs might offset that a little bit. So just so you're aware, I had a great experience with my mortgage broker, and I will use him again going forward, specifically when I'm doing a house or a investment property or a commercial real estate purchase, something like that. Just so you know, mortgage brokers almost never do land unless they are specified to that, and at least I don't know of any personally that do that right now. So another benefit of mortgage brokers also is that if you have a low FICO score, or if you had like a bankruptcy, if you just moved here from another state, if you don't have like 1 or 2 years of employment, a lot of times mortgage brokers can shop that special product for you to get you into a home with those weird stipulations. Sometimes it might be in your benefit too to just wait it out for a bit, get established in either your state or wherever you are, or in your job, because you might be able to get a better interest rate and a lower closing cost if you were to choose going through like a credit union or a bank as well. So, folks, hopefully that was some valuable information. We just talked about banks, credit unions, and mortgage brokers. Obviously, there are a few other products out there as well. You can get into private lending. A lot of times, private lending is going to probably give you a higher interest rate. It's probably going to cost you a lot more money. However, those options are out there, and sometimes they're called hard money loans. I haven't personally experienced that, so I'm not going to talk about it today. And folks, this wouldn't be a vlog unless I was able to give you some really good stats of what's going on in the Flathead Valley. I'm always going to give you some numbers just so you're kind of abreast of what the market is. Right now we are in January 2022. I did look at the MLS this morning and wanted to give you some stats of what's going on in residential, commercial, multifamily, or investment and land. Okay, so the active, this is in Flathead County, and these are the active properties on market at this time. Okay, we got 151 single family residents available. We have 265 parcels of land. We have 52 commercial properties available. And we also have 11 multifamily investment properties available. So that's what's going on right now. So maybe you can go talk to your bank, credit union, mortgage broker, or maybe your private lender or hard money guy, and figure out if you want to buy one of these properties. And find yourself a great agent to do it as well. Okay? And folks, last but not least, we're always going to talk about things going on in the valley. January, February are a little bit sparse in the activity department. You should totally get up on the mountain, go skiing. If you're out snowmobiling, have fun, but be careful because of avalanche warnings. And last but not least, just going to talk about a little bit of nightlife that's going on in the Flathead Valley. First of all, we've got music and nightlife at the Grouse Mountain and Whitefish Lake Lodge. There's going to be usually music. You can get some drinks, a good bite to eat at those places throughout the entire month. Just go ahead and look on the Chamber of Commerce website. We also have the Brash Winter Rodeo Series, and that's still going on at the Majestic Valley Arena all the way through January and February. I believe most of them are on Friday nights, and they start around 7. And then last but not least, we have the Flathead's largest RV show, and that's going to be at the Flathead County Fairgrounds, January 29th, 30th, and 31st. And that's just going to be an awesome indoor event, which would be kind of fun to go look at if you want to get into your recreational vehicle for the upcoming 2022 season. Thank you so much for joining me on Vlog Day here in January 2022. I hope all this information was valuable. I hope you're going to be able to get the lender you need, or at least talk to the right people. If you have any other questions about lending in general, feel free to reach out to me. You can always give me a call at 406-471-1847. You can always like, comment. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate it. Any feedback is awesome. So folks, I'm going to bring you value upcoming soon. Have a wonderful day out in the Flathead. Austin Baumgarten with Keller Williams Realty Northwest Montana and Hidden Homes Montana LLC, over and out.